teaching and learning materials. Currently, they are still struggling with it. You go to some schools, textbooks and other things are even not available for these students to be able to learn. And they are also looking at accommodation for teachers in the rural areas so that at least these hard-to-reach areas, when you post someone from the city to that place, the person wouldn't refuse posting, and also some allowances that is likely going to encourage the rural teacher or the teacher to be able to also give in his all. So these are some of the things they are looking at that they expect political parties to put it in their manifesto. So it wouldn't always be a one-way affair of always looking at the welfare of the students at the expense of the teachers. Atindana Baba Joseph is the Ashanti Regional Nagrad Secretary.
Ibrahim, we'll hear from him shortly, but it's interesting to make the argument that nothing specifically was said about them. We know there's been mention of the teacher licensure exam. Nagrad they've been speaking about this as well. What is the expectation based on the promises, as we've seen in some of the manifestos regarding the teacher licensure exam?
So for the teacher licensure exams, Dr. Christian Adepoku, who is the registrar at the National Teaching Council, he has defended it because, you know, there has been issue whether it will be cancelled, whether it will continue, political promises and the likes. And he is defending it, saying that this is the only avenue they can select the best out of the teachers that will graduate from the teacher colleges education and also the other universities, because this is not geared towards taking teachers out of the classroom, but only to give the better of students in the classroom so that they will be able to also contribute in getting our wards educated efficiently.
Ibrahim, many thanks for those details. That's my colleague Ibrahim Abubakar with the latest from the Ashanti region. But we can take you up north rather now, Judith.
Right now, the former minority leader and member of parliament for Tamale South, Mawuena Egbeta, has promised that the NDC administration will give a permit to youth in the Upper West region to mine gold. Now, according to the Tamale South MP, the youth of Chirpong in the Nadoli Kaleo constituency deserve quality gold, and hence they will be given the chance to mine in their community in a way that is better and good for their livelihoods. Mawuena Egbeta was addressing members of the NDC in the Upper West region during the campaign launch of the Anthony Suma Mirenkwa. Now, joining us via Zoom is our colleague in the Upper East region, or the Upper West region, Ibrahim Wangara, who has been touring the constituencies with them. Ibrahim, now tell us, you have been on the ground. What is the nature of the community and why this promise at this time?
Yes, thank you. If you come to the Upper West region, Chirpong community is undisputably one of the mining hubs in the Upper West region. And for the past days, the area has recorded few tensions as to who owns the right or have the right to mine in the area and as to how the mining should be done. And this one thing has led most of the youth jobless, with most families impacted. So this is something that the youth are not taking lightly, and then that informed the decision for the former minority leader Mawuena Egbeta to make this promise to the youth. Let's take a listen to what he told the youth during the campaign launch.
Right.
I hear there are gold deposits or rich mineral deposits in this area. The young people here deserve better, good quality. All the NDC want from the youth here, tomorrow we will give you an opportunity to mine here, but you must mine it responsibly, in a manner that does not threaten livelihood but improve livelihoods.
Ibrahim, quite an interesting promise, especially at such a time where Galamsey is a topic of the day. But how is the community reacting to the statement?
the community at the time of the announcement were so happy, and they see that the former minority leader and the NDC party is having, they are on the same page, because this youth or the community people are more likely to run or rally behind any party that is ready to give them their power or their privilege to go into this minor aspect. So they are not taking the promise lightly, and they are so happy with it. But Judith, aside the Galamsey or the mining aspect, the Tamale South lawmaker also made a promise to them when it comes to security recruitment. He told the youth that they, the NDC, is pretty aware of how the NPP is handling security recruitment in this country. And according to him, should the NDC party get their nod to lead this country, they will also make sure they do better than what the NPP is known to be doing, because they will recruit their own people and know where to fix the other Ghanaians, as to he put it. So we can as well listen to the comments he made when it comes to the security recruitment.
To the youth here, we will do it better than the MPP. Today, when they are recruiting to the security agencies, we know what they do. The NDC youth, be assured, we will do it better than the MPP is doing today. Whether it's soldier, it's immigration, it's fire service, we will recruit Ghanaians as they have recruited, and we know where our priorities will be to those Ghanaians.
Well, you heard that was the former minority leader in Parliament, Mawuena Egbeta, addressing some youth at the Upper West region right here on your Election Command Center. But we have more stories for you, Mawuena.
On the subject of Galamsey, a former dean of the medical science at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Professor Daniel Anson, has called for enhanced training for public health professionals to tackle the health dangers posed by the Galamsey menace. Now, according to him, heavy metal exposure from Galamsey activities poses serious health risks for both adults and children, underscoring the need for capacity building in this field. Professor Anson made the call at the 10th anniversary launch of the Ensign Global College, where the institution unveiled a new academic program aimed at addressing the public health threats posed by Galamsey.
As a public health institution, they need to be training public health professionals who can be able to work and find out problems that Galamsey is associated with, both right from childhood to adulthood. Exposure to certain heavy chemicals can harm the human being, and therefore, as a public health institution, it will be good for them to have initiatives into training and building capacities for their professionals to be able to conduct scientific research into the areas of illegal mining.
Well, the president of Ensign, Professor Stephen Alder, called on the government to address the Galamsey crisis by taking a comprehensive approach that tackles the root causes of the issue.
Our recommendation is to be able to have assistance in providing that systematic understanding and look at those points where effective change can occur. Too often, I think, as we're trying to make changes, whether it's this or other issues, we look at the surface, yet we don't get to the very heart of the matter. And so understanding what is behind the activity, what is leading to the pollution that comes from this, what is continuing this type of activity, we need to understand it so we can find solutions that will not only bring an end to it, but find a way out that provides constructive avenues for those who are currently involved in this practice.
Now, on to some more stories. The National Communications Officer of the National Democratic Congress, Sami James-Fee, has reiterated that the Northern region remains pivotal to the NDC's poise for victory in the 2024 general elections. He touted the NDC as being the only political party that has brought monumental development to the 5 regions of the North.
We are poised for victory because we know that John Mahama is Ghana's only hope of a brighter future. And so we are doing everything possible to ensure that he wins the presidential election resoundingly and that we win the parliamentary elections as a party resoundingly as well.
Sure.
Now, talking about winning the 2024 election, Northern Region is pivotal in that quest. Northern Region is a very important region. This region has always been an NDC stronghold, and thanks to the good work our regional executives led by the regional chairman are doing here, I know that in 2024 the results will show that the Northern Region is still a stronghold of the NDC.
Well, that's all we have for you for Regional Hub.
Now, this afternoon, the Senior Staff Association of the Universities of Ghana is on a nationwide strike beginning today, Monday, September 16, over government's failure to address their demands for improved working conditions. The association expressed frustration over government's inability to fulfill previous agreements despite several protests and negotiations. It said government has failed to implement new rates for vehicle maintenance and other related allowances despite prior agreements. Our colleague, or my colleague, Evelyn Tengma, is currently at the University of Ghana campus. She's joining us right now with details. Evelyn, let's perhaps start off first with who exactly we're referring to as senior staff of the universities and what they do exactly.
Mawuena, so when you talk about the senior staff of the universities of Ghana, basically you are talking about those who work in the various offices of the various universities. So you can talk about those in the administration and the accountants and all the people who make sure that the day-to-day work or activities of the universities are run. So they are basically the people in the various offices making sure that everything is done for the university to thrive. Mawuena.
And we've heard or we've read quite a number of issues, including vehicle maintenance and the likes. What is the crux of the demand they're making of government?
Right. So, Mawuena, so apart from the vehicle maintenance that they are asking for, they are also asking that government should pay them their or release their tier 2 pensions and funds, of course, to the managers of the various funds. And that basically is their problem here. But I have with me Mr. Bano Yakubu, who is a member of the association, and I will speak to him right now to find out what exactly are the issues that you are asking government to do.
Yes, our issues are basically what you mentioned. Vehicle maintenance allowances that was increased some time ago. The government is not paying the required amount. They are still maintaining the 10.99 rate, which is now it has increased to about 14.9 or so, if I'm not getting the figure right. So, but that is the issue. And also, another issue that concerns us so much is our tier 2. As for that one, nobody does it. It's our pensions. So because of that, these pension issues, it has been lingering for so long. We've striked on these issues severally. And government are just dilly-dallying with us. I don't know whether they are deceiving us or they are just not serious about our issue. Because tier 2, we all know, is your pensions when you go on retirement. And then those monies are deducted. So just release the money, as simple as that, to fund managers for them to do investment, so that when we retire, we can also be comfortable. And also, some years, just last year, we strike on the same issue. They use simple interest to calculate. So we are asking for the required compounding interest, the one that is reflected in the law, that when the government defaults, 3% penalty is slapped on it. So that's what we want. So we want recalculation of the previous one they paid without the required correct calculation. And also, we are also demanding that government should, as a matter of agency, look into the vehicle maintenance, because it has been increased. And other, our colleagues or our UTAG members are taking it. It's the same thing. So if Ministry of Finance are not approving for government to pay, it's the problem. For us, it's the problem. So because of that, we realize that the government of the day are so much concerned about breaking the 8, but they are not looking at the worker interest. And that is very bad on their part. They should look at that. So for us,
right. So now I know most universities are on break. And so what exactly, how effective is this particular strike going to be?
For us, we are working. Of course, we are not students. Students will go on break and come and meet us. But what I can say on this is that if the government of the day can hurry up and pay this, it will be on their best interest. Because if students will pay, it will be worse. Of course, students are not around, so the pressure is not felt that much. If not, the students would have been confused because our members will not be there to help them do other things, register, pay school fees, and all sorts of things. So if the government of the day, that is why the senior staff, we have taken it upon ourselves that now we don't want to wait and then pressure any student, innocent students. We are fighting government, no students. So we are going to stay at home, lock our offices. If they are not going to listen to us and students come, they will be fine in limbo. For that one, we will not have anything to do because we have also written to government several on this issue. We have sent letters, and government will wait and will get to and will strike. I think senior staff, we have been very lenient. I think we have to take the positions of CETA. CETA went on strike for 3 months. They denied them salary. They were still on strike. Okay. We have to take that position if government will want us to go that way. That's the only thing we can do so that they will listen to us. For us now, they are not listening.
All right, thank you very much. So, Mawuena, you heard Mr. Bano Yakubu as a member of the Senior Staff Association, Mawuena.
Evelyn, as always, many thanks. That's my colleague, Evelyn Tengma, providing those details there for us.
Now to more stories. Speaker of Parliament, Right Honourable Alban Babing, has expressed disappointment in the President Akufo-Addo for failing to show exemplary leadership in managing the affairs of the country. Speaking in an exclusive interview with TV3's Beatrice Edu, Alban Babing urged the first gentleman of the land to stamp his foot on the ground on the issues that affect citizens.
Those people definitely will not buy what the politicians are saying now, because they've heard it many times. And as they said, the failure of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa has given almost fatal blow to the trust of Ghanaians in the democratic process. But so many people believed in him that he was going to make a difference. Unfortunately, he has disappointed all of them.
Even on the level of economy?
Yes. Even his followers in his own party really don't believe in him again. I describe him as a lame duck. And he wasn't happy with that description.
Why did you describe him that way?
That is the statement of fact.
Why did you describe him that way?
None of his party members is looking up to him for leadership. And authority has moved from his hand. And they are looking for where to position it now. So most of what he's doing, his people are not in support.
So what you're saying is that even with the explanation of COVID-19 pandemic and the Russia-Ukraine war, which is still raging, you do not think that the government has been able to handle the economy much or well?
Those things you mentioned, were they only things meant to affect Ghana? What about the other countries? Are they in this state? What about the Ukraine itself or the Russia? Those warring factions. What is the state of their economy there?
So what is our problem?
It's leadership. That is the problem of Africa. It's leadership. And our definition of leadership is different from the others. And so we keep on making mistakes because we only listen to those who are in the position to deceive us and cajole us to believe in them. We don't even take a step backwards to analyze where they came from.
Why don't we?
Well, it's basically because of lack of information. The fact that we've not been able to educate ourselves. When I talk about education, I'm not talking about formal education, read and write. No. even informal education in the family will not be able to imbibe the values that build integrity. Not just integrity in the person, like honesty, but also in our systems. And so we rather glorify people who have developed skills to defraud, cheat, and deceive us.
Now, on our special feature series, although she was born without hands and only one leg, 9-year-old Matilda Mankwa is determined to brave the odds and lead an independent life. She wants to become a nurse, but there's a challenge. She's not in school. Portia Gabo tells the story of Matilda, whose dream is to step inside a classroom and get educated.
There's a rare gem in the village of Petopum, a special girl called Matilda. She may look different, but her mother has raised her to be independent. Matilda's super strength is in her leg, so she hops and hops and hops her way to do house chores. Her mother recounts giving birth to her. I was scared when I first saw her as a baby, but the nurses encouraged me even as I cried. Matilda wants to be a nurse, but there's a big challenge. She's not in school. I was told I rather need to attend a school for pupils with special needs. School authorities told me that she rather needs to attend a school for special children.
We need support to educate her.
A number of children with disability remain at home and unable to access education due to several factors, including fear of discrimination and stigma. Although Matilda occasionally gets donations from philanthropists, she wants an education and an improvement in her quality of life. I want to be a nurse. I'm sad when I see my friends go to school. Although special schools have been suggested by some, she and her mom believe inclusive education is rather the best option. Her spirit remains unbroken and her resolve unshaken. Matilda Amankwa's story is a testament to the human spirit's ability to persevere in the face of adversity. TV3 News will follow up on her story until she steps into the classroom. Portia Gabo, TV3 News.
Really is a touching story.
Very
say.
touching. I'm almost teary, actually.
Well, emotions definitely there. Bringing us to the end of the bulletin, but before we go, a usual ritual we do for you here on News Central is to pick up your smartphone and scan. I'm almost down as a result of that particular story, but kindly pick up your smartphone and scan that code which is going to come up on your screen right about now, and do that. Scan the 3 News, scan and join the 3 News WhatsApp channel. That's where you'll find all things news related, from our news cards to Judith's explainers to whatnot. Find it all on the 3 News WhatsApp channel. It's a big growing family, one that we want you to be a part of and get the news as it happens. When there's a big development, a breaking news feature, you find it on our 3 News WhatsApp channel. And that is where as well you get links to 3news.com. And Judith is on 3news.com. You want to show us what's there?
Of course, so right here on 3news.com, let's run you through some of the headlines. And we have Buabina Samoa. He's saying repeal LI that allows for prospecting, stop issuing new mining licenses. Of course, that's on the issue of Galamsey. We also have issues on the voters' exhibition. We have Akwesi Kwarting, who is the PRO for the Education Ministry. He's saying voter exhibition is part of auditing of the registrar. Also, Finance Minister pledges 500,000 Ghana cedi scholarship for journalists in the northern region. We have more headlines like this one from Kofi Abochi saying that he's talking to the EC, by the way. He says he audits the voter register to dispel the allegation of a bloated roll. And lastly, Ghana ranked Tier 1 status in latest ITU Global Cybersecurity Index. That's according to the Information or Communication Minister as well as Lowusu. And there's more stories for you right here on 3news.com. So, of course, move right there and check out what we have for you right there on 3news.com.
That's our bulletin. I am Mawuena Egbeta.
And I am Judith Brown. Up next, the afternoon show.